Good morning, everybody. It's April. It's very early, about 5 AM. I'm at home, but the weather forecast today, or this morning at least, is set to be snowfall, heavy snowfall. So I couldn't pass up my last opportunity of this year to go and photograph some snow. I'm so tired. And let me tell you this, I'm not convinced. The truth is, if we get any kind of significant snowfall today, I will eat my hat. Right, I need to get some fuel. £1.67 a litre. Oh, it's painful. Right. Oh, that was that was painful. Oh, I tell you what, better bloody well get an Arctic storm after paying for that. Right, onwards. Oh, it's snowing a little bit. Oh, it's coming down. Look at this, it's left the road with a centimetre of hailstone. Okay. So the snow is very much on and off. You know, 1 minute it can be absolutely hammering it down and then like 500 yards later, nothing at all. But the idea is that I'm just going to drive around, see what happens, and I've just driven past, let's call it a snowy area, and I've seen hopefully a couple of shots. So yeah, pretty cool. Just pulled over, so we'll have a look. So it really is nothing fancy today. We're just planning to shoot from the van, no hiking or anything. But for the first shot, I mean, come on. You know I love my minimal photography. Oh, it's just a very quick one. Very, very quick one, this. Actually, this isn't the shot that I pulled over for. There's some trees just over here I want to check out. But I couldn't resist this sort of snow-plastered telegraph pole in the middle of a snow-covered field. I think I'm pushing my luck with this one, to be honest. Let's have a look. I'm just going to try and see if I can get the same shot, but with the wall in the foreground. Probably have to focus stack it because, yeah, I think I might be going a little bit too minimal with just the telegraph pole. Let's have a look. Yeah, it adds a few more layers, gives it a bit more context. This feels nice. We've got the snow plastered trees, we've got a bit of the wall, we've got lovely ambient light and just a nice arrangement of trees here. So, oh, it's so cold, I'm not going to film for long, but there we go, just driving around, looking for snow, looking for images, totally spontaneous. Quite a lot of fun. A nice way to spend the morning, but next time I'm getting my gloves and jacket. It's freezing. Oh, oh man. Well, I don't know if we've got any images there. And can you believe, if you watched my last video, the one with that well sketchy hike, that was hot, beautiful, sunny day, 20 degrees. That was about 3 or 4 days ago. And now look at it. That is the beauty of living in the UK, that changeable weather. Yes, we love to moan about it. We love to complain that we get rain, we don't get snow, we don't really get hot sunshine, you know, it's always changing, always mixing. As a landscape photographer, that is the spice of life. So, let us continue. Oh, on these icy roads and see if anything else catches our eye. Alright, so the sun is well and truly up now, and I guess in a way that's kind of cool because I can get away without using a tripod. I do enjoy a tripod, but when I'm just driving, parking up, looking for shots, and then moving on, it pays to be quick. So I've got the long lens out, and some very interesting clouds and light, and of course, another tree. Alright, so we have a lovely bit of falling snow here and a nice subject with a couple of trees. Yeah, a couple of trees, and that snow is giving us separation and an atmosphere and depth, and it makes everything feel like a painting. Really, it's the snow that's making it, you know, it's the falling snow that is making this shot. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So in the distance there's a much smaller tree further away, so we get more separation because of the falling snow. So I've not moved, you know, I've not moved from where I'm standing, just picking out compositions with the longer lens. Ah yes, it's absolutely glorious. Already I can see there's blue sky behind me, so this will be gone, but it's nice to just get that quick blast of winter. Oh yes, fantastic. Whoa. Overfilled the kettle. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll talk about the simple pleasures of having a van, making a cup of tea, but actually as a photographer, one of another simple pleasure that I get is well, I've got the iPad now, so I enjoy just having the iPad and processing images in the van. I'll just close the curtains so that we get a decent view of the screen. Bear with me. Yeah, so we'll get the iPad out and have a look at some of the images, finish my coffee and maybe process one for the video. I think maybe there could be some value there, I'm not sure. Generally I don't do much processing, but we'll have a look. Alright, so got the iPad out. Fairly new to the iPad, I've not had it very long. But what I like to do is, especially on location, just drop a couple of images on and have a look and just get a feel for it. So I'll go over some initial impressions, some quick edits. Bear in mind the edits I do here on the iPad won't be what you've probably seen in the video, because this will sync up with my computer at home, and then I'll, on the big screen, go in and really finesse them. But this gives me a good idea as to whether or not I've had a good day or not, or a good morning. So looking at this image, now this is the first one. This is the trees that I shot this morning. I like it, but there are a couple of things that I don't like. First thing that I don't really like, that I'm not keen on, is this tree stump here in the bottom corner, as well as this wooden post by the wall. I find that quite distracting as well. And one final thing about this image that immediately draws my attention is this limb here has been cut off. That bothers me. So I'll have a look at this and see what we can do. Now, the most powerful edit tool I find is the crop. So I'll go in and we'll see what we can do here. I'll probably go for a 4x5, and I'm gonna bring this crop in so that I'm losing the wooden post that I don't like, I'm losing the tree stump that I don't like, and also I'm losing that cut off limb. So what I'm really looking at here with this composition is obviously this tree here, and the way this one is just leaning left, leaning out, and then it draws your eye. So through the middle, you've got the stone wall, you've got these trees. It's just quite a nice, pleasant scene. It's not too bad at all. Another thing that I'm finding quite distracting are the highlights in the center of the sky there. That was a bright portion of sky. So if I can go in and get rid of those, that's probably the first thing I'm gonna do. So I'll add a radial filter, draw that on like so. It's just, again, a quick and dirty edit. And I'm just going to bring the highlights down quite a way, and that'll really be affecting the sky, and it shouldn't be affecting the snow on the trees too much. So already that looks better to my eye. So all in all, that's not too bad. I wouldn't do much more than this, to be honest with you. Perhaps take it into Photoshop and do some dodging and burning, but for a quick look on Lightroom in the van, I can see that I'm happy with it. It's sharp, it's well exposed, the composition isn't too bad. I've got lots to work with when I get back to the office. So let's look at another image. Now this is quite a nice, I don't know, this is more of a classical image. Nice lights, nice trees, nice subject. But I put a second image on here, something a bit more experimental, something a bit more abstract, something that actually, when I took it, I wasn't overly enthusiastic about it. But now, when I'm looking at it on the iPad, I love it. I absolutely love it, and I'll explain why. So this is the image, and you can see it's quite different to the previous image. And this, I've got to say, I prefer this. I do. I prefer the look of it. I prefer the feel of it. It's more my style of photography. Just hang on, you're a bit on the wonk there. Sorry, it bugs me when I see that it's a bit wonky. Yeah, it was difficult to shoot, and again, as I mentioned before, I didn't feel, I wasn't sure I'd captured anything that special when I was out there taking it. It was just a quick handheld shot as the snow was blowing. But looking at this on the iPad, on the large screen, it's got many qualities that I look for in landscape photography. One is it looks very painterly, more like a painting, abstract, it looks impressionist. Like old impressionist painters from the 1800s, they used to go out into the field with their canvas and paintbrush, and they didn't paint what they could see in front of them, stroke for stroke. They would paint an impression of what they were looking at. And in a sense, this is what this feels like. It doesn't feel like a photograph, it feels more like a painting. So let's look at what I would do to this. I mean, the framing is way off. Handheld, point and shoot, snow blasting in my face. So I didn't pay too much care and attention. I think I was probably at the end of the lens as well. I'll tell you what, I'm going to change this to a 16:9. Definitely, that's going to suit the format a lot more. And the great thing is with this GFX, I don't like to crop in, don't get me wrong, but it's got the crop capabilities, the crop factor, shall we say. So there we go. And obviously I'm just having a play now. I'll finesse this properly on my computer when I get back to the office, when all this is synced up. But this is great. The shapes in the landscape caused by the horizon, the walls, and this bit of hedging and fencing here. And of course the interest of this tree and this smaller tree, all of the atmosphere, all of the snow falling, a little hint of colour, and some warmth with brown tones in this wall here. I think it's great. So let's look at processing this. I'm really not going to do a great deal. I will just increase the whites. So it looks about right. There we go. And ever so slightly pull back the blacks. If I pull back the blacks too far, like this, it goes really crunchy and quite bitty, and that's not the look or the style that I want to go for. Another thing I'd like to look at with images like this, whether it's raining heavy, snowing, whether it's misty and hazy, I always like to look at the clarity and the dehaze slider. The clarity, you can go over to the right and you can really increase the detail of all the snowfall. But I don't want that. I want it to look soft and painterly, so I'll go a little bit to the left with the clarity slider and just create a softer, more atmospheric image. And then again with the dehaze, same thing. I'm going to go left. If I go to the right, I mean, look at that, that's not great. But if I go left ever so slightly, you know, now we're looking at something even more abstract, even more painterly, and dare I say it, even more impressionist-like. So to be honest, here on the iPad, I probably wouldn't do a great deal more. To me, I'm really happy with this. I think it looks fantastic. It might not be to everybody's taste, it's certainly not pretty, but it has, I think, a certain quality to it. Just let me drop this quickly in the video as well. I have a book available, about 100 odd pages, images, stories from within the field, QR codes in the back that you can scan and watch the videos of where the images in the book were taken. So if you've enjoyed this video, enjoyed my photography, and you're new here and you didn't know I have a book, well, now you know I've got a book. There you go. Can't plug it much more than that. As well as the book, I've got lots of links in the video description, like offer codes and stuff like that to various bits of gear. Bear in mind they're affiliate links, but it doesn't matter. You save money, I get a commission, and you know the manufacturer gets a sale, so it's a bit of a win-win for everybody involved. So there you go. I could just sit here and plug away all day, but I've got to get going.